Why is it so hard to see black and blue when 1 in 6 women are victims of abuse? I am astounded by the number of women I have heard of who have been in relationships where domestic violence is the norm. I have been equally horrified by the fact that there are so many men out there who are perpetrators of domestic violence. It is one of the most prevalent crimes in the country, yet it remains so hidden. Most people who suffer from domestic violence don't even know what it is. They believe it can only be called that once acts of physical violence have been proven. Yet our laws go far beyond that. The South African Domestic Violence Act of 1998 defines domestic violence as physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, verbal and psychological abuse, or any other controlling or abusive behavior towards the complainant, where such conduct harms the safety, health, or well-being of the complainant. Men and women have to be aware of these prohibitions. It is important that this information is circulated to as many people as possible, so that women in particular know their rights. There is no need to hide this anymore. People must understand that it is not just physical violence that constitutes abuse. Insults, belittling, cursing, threats, degrading and humiliating behavior are all forms of abuse, and these are often precursors to physical violence. Women cannot be treated as property by men. What has been more shocking to me is the number of people who have been well educated and who continue to perpetrate domestic violence. One would think that an education would help, but even young university-going people actively abuse their partners. A study conducted by the World Health Organization in 2013 found that 50% of the South African women surveyed reported that they had been suffered emotional and verbal abuse. 50%. Let that number sink in. That means that 1 in 2 women suffer a form of abuse in this country, and it continues to be swept under the rug. Arthur and Clark 2009, 147, state that domestic violence can involve a wide array of physical, sexual and emotional abuse. Until recently, in most parts of the world, a husband has a legal right to his wife's body. Many countries now provide legal protections against domestic violence, but many do not. The most disturbing thing here is that even when we speak of women in abusive relationships, we often want to blame the victim for staying. Yet the mainstream discourse is that we rarely demand that the perpetrator stops his actions. When will we talk to the men who are responsible for this crime? If 50% of women are abused, does this mean that 50% of men are abusers? A Medical Research Council study in 2012 found that 1 in 2 women murdered in South Africa are killed by their partner. Men have to stop being a danger to the woman they say they love. Men who abuse their women have to stop what they are doing. There is nothing to understand about their actions. There is no need to over-intellectualize it. We know the historical context that has led to men to think that they can do as they wish to women's bodies. Women live in fear of their partners, yet the actions of men are understood. Why must they be understood when women are in the perpetual danger? There is nothing strong about abusing the woman you love. My position is clear. Domestic abuse needs to stop, to be uncovered and to be seen. Only then will change happen.